As Ji-hoon ventured deeper into the heart of Seoraksan, the forest began to transform around him. The air grew thick with an ancient magic, and the world seemed to pulse with a life of its own. The deeper he went, the more the path beneath him seemed to blur the lines between reality and the mystic. With each step, the wind began to carry soft whispers, voices of a forgotten era speaking in tongues that Ji-hoon could not understand, yet felt deeply in his soul. The leaves rustled with these murmurs, creating a symphony that seemed to guide his way. Ji-hoon paused, his heart racing with a mix of fear and wonder. This is unreal. Am I imagining this? He uttered to the wind, half expecting an answer. The forest remained silent, save for the enigmatic whispers that danced around him. Then, the first of the mystical occurrences appeared before his eyes. The plants along the path, mundane in the daylight, began to emit a soft, ethereal glow. It was as if the very essence of the forest was alive, pulsating with a hidden energy. The glow intensified, illuminating the path in a spectral light that seemed to beckon him forward. Ji-hoon, entranced by the sight, continued, his apprehension giving way to awe. Each plant he passed seemed to acknowledge his presence, glowing brighter as he neared and dimming as he passed. As he progressed, the phenomena grew more wondrous. Tiny orbs of light floated through the air, like spirits of the forest playing in the twilight. They swirled around him, their dance a mesmerizing display that left Ji-hoon spellbound. In a clearing, the moonlight broke through the canopy, casting a silver sheen over a pond. The water rippled without a breeze, and in its reflection, Ji-hoon saw shapes and shadows moving, visions of ancient battles, mythical creatures, and lost civilizations. Overwhelmed by the beauty and mystery of it all, Ji-hoon sat by the pond, watching the water surface as the visions continued to play out. The stories of his grandfather, once thought to be mere legends, now seemed to come alive in the ripples of the pond. The night grew deeper, and the forest around Ji-hoon transformed into a realm of dreams and whispers. He realized that he was not just on a physical journey but a voyage through the annals of time and myth. With each mystical occurrence, Ji-hoon felt a deeper connection to the land and its ancient stories. He knew then that Seoraksan was not just a mountain but a keeper of secrets, a gateway to a world that straddled the thin line between the real and the surreal. As dawn approached, the magical phenomena gradually faded, leaving Ji-hoon in the serene calm of the early morning. The experience of the night had changed him, opening his eyes to a world beyond his imagination. With the first light of dawn, Ji-hoon rose, his resolve strengthened. He whispered a thank you to the forest, to the spirits that had shown him the wonders of Seoraksan. His journey was far from over, and he knew that what lay ahead could be even more extraordinary than what he had just witnessed. With the map in his hand and a heart full of wonder, Ji-hoon continued his journey, stepping once more into the mystery and magic of the mountains, into a world where legends lived and breathed. As the dawn light sifted through the leaves, painting the forest in hues of gold and green, Ji-hoon found himself in a part of Seoraksan he could hardly believe was real. The trees here were ancient, their roots deep and gnarled, their branches a canopy of endless tales. It was here, amidst the whispering leaves and the soft forest floor, that Ji-hoon caught his first glimpse of something extraordinary. Through a veil of mist and foliage, there it stood, a structure so surreal and majestic that it seemed to belong to another world. Partially hidden by the embracing arms of the forest, a gate of intricate design and mysterious allure beckoned. Its presence was so unassuming yet so commanding, a paradox carved in stone and time. Ji-hoon's eyes widened in awe. His breath hitched in his throat as he whispered in a blend of excitement and disbelief, "That has to be it, the gate from Grandpa's book." The words fell from his lips like a sacred mantra, echoing around him, absorbed by the trees. The gate, adorned with symbols and carvings that seemed to dance and twist in the dappled sunlight, was as much a part of the forest as the trees and the streams. It stood as a sentinel, guarding the secrets of a world Ji-hoon had only dared to dream of. He approached cautiously, each step measured, his heart a drumbeat in his chest. The closer he got, the more the air around him seemed to thrum with an ancient power. The whispers of the forest grew louder, a chorus of unseen voices guiding him forward. The gate's architecture was a marvel, a testament to a forgotten craftsmanship. It was made of a stone that shimmered with an inner light, its surface etched with symbols that spoke of old magic and older legends. Vines clung to it, as though the forest itself had accepted and embraced this mystical portal. Ji-hoon reached out, his fingers hovering inches from the cool stone. He could feel the pulse of the gate, a rhythm that resonated with the very beat of the earth. It was as if the gate was alive, breathing and waiting, its secrets locked behind the carvings that adorned its surface. He traced the symbols with his eyes, each one a piece of a puzzle that spanned centuries. These were the symbols he had seen in his grandfather's book, each a story a piece of lore that had passed through generations. As he stood there, lost in the beauty and mystery of the gate, Ji-hoon felt a connection to his grandfather stronger than ever. He could almost hear the old man's voice, telling him tales of the mythical world, tales that Ji-hoon now realized were more than just stories. Taking a deep breath, Ji-hoon stepped back, taking in the gate in all its glory. It was more than just a structure, it was a bridge between worlds, a threshold between the known and the unknown. The sun climbed higher, casting its light upon the gate, making it glow with an ethereal light. Birds sang in the trees, their melodies a harmonious backdrop to the moment. The forest seemed to hold its breath, watching and waiting for Ji-hoon's next move. With a determined nod, Ji-hoon opened his backpack and pulled out the ancient book. He flipped through the pages, looking for a clue, a key to unlock the gate's secrets. The pages rustled under his fingers, each turn a whisper of ages past. And there, on a page worn with time, was a drawing of the gate. Ji-hoon's heart raced as he looked from the book to the gate, their similarity uncanny. The book held more than just tales, it was a guide, a map to this very moment. Ji-hoon read the text beneath the drawing, his eyes hungrily devouring the words. They spoke of a ritual, a way to open the gate, a way to cross into the mythical world. His grandfather's notes were scribbled in the margins, a lifetime of research and belief condensed into hurried lines of ink. He studied the notes, his mind piecing together the puzzle. The gate, the book, his journey, it all led to this moment, a convergence of fate and story. The wind picked up, rustling the leaves, whispering encouragement. Ji-hoon looked up at the gate, his resolve firming. This was his destiny, the path his grandfather had set him on, a journey to uncover the truth and embrace the legacy of his family. With the book in one hand and a heart full of courage, Ji-hoon stepped forward. He was ready to unlock the gate, to step into the world his grandfather had always believed in. He was ready to discover the secrets of Seoraksan, to meet the mythical world face to face. As he recited the words from the book, a hush fell over the forest. The gate began to resonate. In the heart of the Seoraksan forest, where the whispers of ancient tales lingered in the air, Ji-hoon stood before a gateway that bridged worlds. His heart raced, a symphony of beats echoing the untold mysteries that lay beyond. The gate, with its imposing presence, loomed before him, a sentinel of secrets long guarded. These symbols, they looked so familiar, Ji-hoon murmured, his voice a whisper against the hush of the forest. He traced his fingers over the intricate carvings, each symbol pulsating with an age-old wisdom. The patterns were akin to those in his grandfather's book, like a language of the ancients that spoke directly to his soul. As Ji-hoon approached the gate, each step resonated with a sense of destiny. The air around him hummed with a palpable energy, as if the forest itself was holding its breath, witnessing a moment centuries in the making. The gate stones, cold and unyielding, were etched with tales of heroes and monsters, of worlds that existed in the seams of reality. The symbols began to glow softly, illuminating the path that led Ji-hoon to this fateful encounter. He could almost hear the whispered conversations of those who had once stood where he stood, seekers of truth and brave souls who dared to dream. As he gazed at the ancient designs, Ji-hoon felt a surge of recognition. These were not just symbols, they were a map, a guide written in the language of the cosmos. His grandfather's tales, once a lullaby to a child's imagination, now unfurled in his mind as vivid memories, revealing their truth. With every symbol he touched, a piece of the puzzle fell into place. The legends of Seoraksan, the mythical creatures, the battles fought in the shadows, they were all here, encoded in the gate's timeless facade. Ji-hoon's journey, which began as a quest fueled by curiosity and the legacy of his grandfather, had led him to the brink of a world unseen. The gate, once a figment of folklore, now stood as a testament to the blurred line between myth and reality. The forest watched in silence as Ji-hoon, with a reverence reserved for the sacred, continued his exploration of the gate. The leaves rustled softly, as if in approval, and the wind carried the scent of ancient pine, enveloping him in the embrace of the ages. Each symbol Ji-hoon deciphered brought him closer to unlocking the gate's mystery. The stories of valor and sacrifice, of love and loss, all danced before his eyes, a tapestry of human endeavor and celestial fate. The sun dipped lower, casting a golden hue over the scene, turning the gate into a portal of light. Shadows lengthened, creating an ethereal setting that blurred the lines of time. In this magical twilight, Ji-hoon felt as if he was a part of the forest, a character in the endless story it told. His fingers lingered on a particular symbol, one that resonated with a story his grandfather had often recounted, a tale of a brave heart and a pure soul who would unlock the ancient gateway. Ji-hoon's heart skipped a beat. Was this his destiny? Was he the one foretold in the legends? He stepped back, looking at the gate in its entirety. It was no longer an ancient relic, it was a living, breathing piece of history, a keeper of secrets and a gateway to wonders beyond human understanding. As the stars began to peek through the canopy, Ji-hoon knew that nightfall would bring new revelations. The gate, under the watchful eyes of the celestial bodies, might reveal its true purpose, its true power. And he, Ji-hoon, was the key to unleashing it. With a deep breath, Ji-hoon prepared himself. He was no longer just a seeker of truths, he was a part of the legend, a player in the grand story of Seoraksan. The gate awaited, and with it, a journey into the unknown, into a world where myths were realities and realities were myths. The night descended, and the gate glowed with an otherworldly light. Ji-hoon, with the ancient book clutched tightly in his hand, stepped forward. The symbols beckoned, the forest whispered, and the stars shone brightly above. This was the moment of truth, the threshold of a new world. Ji-hoon whispered the words his grandfather had taught him, words that held the key to the mysteries of the gate. The air crackled with energy, and the ground trembled softly. The gate, sensing the presence of the chosen one, began to respond. A luminous path emerged, winding its way through the gate, a bridge between the known and the unknown. Ji-hoon's heart pounded with a mix of fear and exhilaration. This was it, the moment his grandfather had prepared him for, the moment he had been waiting for all his life. With the forest as his witness and the stars as his guide, Ji-hoon stepped forward, crossing the threshold into a world beyond imagination. The gate closed behind him, sealing his fate, as he embarked on the greatest adventure of his life, into the heart of Seoraksan, into the realm of legends. In the mystical embrace of Seoraksan's ancient forest, Ji-hoon stood before the enigmatic gate, its carvings a labyrinth of forgotten lore. The air around him was thick with anticipation, charged with the whispers of 1,000 untold stories. He reached out, his hand trembling slightly, and touched the gate. The moment his skin met the cold, etched stone, something extraordinary happened. The gate erupted in a symphony of light, its symbols glowing with an ethereal brilliance. Ji-hoon staggered back, his eyes wide in disbelief. "What's happening to me?" he gasped, his voice a mix of awe and fear. The forest around him seemed to respond, the trees bending closer, the leaves rustling with excitement. As he touched the gate, a torrent of visions flooded his mind. It was as if the gate had unlocked the memories of the world, each vision a fragment of a long-lost story. Ji-hoon saw scenes of ancient battles, warriors clashing in the shadow of Seoraksan, their swords gleaming under the moonlight. He saw mythical creatures, majestic and terrifying, creatures of legend that roamed the forests and skies. The visions shifted, revealing quieter, more intimate moments. He saw families gathered around fires, their faces illuminated by the flickering flames, their laughter echoing through the ages. He saw lovers, their hands entwined under the starry sky, their whispers a melody in the night. Each vision was more vivid than the last, a tapestry of human emotion and celestial destiny intertwined. Ji-hoon felt as if he was living 1,000 lives at once, each life a story, each story a piece of the eternal puzzle that was Seoraksan. The gate pulsed under his touch, its energy coursing through him like a river of light. He saw the rise and fall of empires, the birth and death of stars, the endless cycle of life and rebirth. The visions were overwhelming, yet Ji-hoon couldn't look away, couldn't release the gate. He was a part of it now, a witness to the history of the world. As the visions continued, Ji-hoon began to understand the true nature of the gate. It was not just a doorway to another world, it was a keeper of memories, a guardian of the universal stories that connected all beings. He saw himself, a young boy, sitting at his grandfather's feet, listening to tales of Seoraksan. He saw his grandfather's eyes, bright with the fire of storytelling, his voice weaving magic in the air. Ji-hoon realized that these were not just stories, they were memories, pieces of the gate's vast knowledge. The gate's glow intensified, wrapping Ji-hoon in a cocoon of light. He felt as if he was floating, adrift in a sea of time and space. The visions became more personal, more poignant. He saw his own journey, his own struggles and triumphs, his path to the gate. Tears streamed down Ji-hoon's face as he witnessed his life unfold, each moment a precious memory, each memory a sacred gift. He saw his doubts and fears, his hopes and dreams, all laid bare in the light of the gate. Then, as suddenly as they had begun, the visions ceased. The gate's light dimmed, leaving Ji-hoon standing in the quiet forest, his heart pounding, his mind reeling from the experience. He looked at the gate, no longer just an ancient structure, but a friend, a mentor, a guide. Ji-hoon stepped back, his hand lingering on the stone for a moment longer. He felt changed, transformed by the gate's revelations. He was no longer just a seeker of truth, he was a carrier of stories, a guardian of memories. The forest seemed to acknowledge his transformation, the trees bowing slightly, the wind caressing his face like an old friend. Ji-hoon looked up at the sky, the stars twinkling like a million distant eyes, watching over him. With a deep breath, Ji-hoon turned away from the gate, his steps firm and purposeful. He knew that his journey was far from over, that there were more mysteries to uncover, more stories to discover. But he also knew that he was ready, that he had the strength and wisdom to face whatever lay ahead. As he walked away from the gate, Ji-hoon whispered a silent thank you to the forest, to the gate, to the universe itself. He was a part of something greater now, a part of the eternal dance of life and legend. The gate stood silent, a sentinel in the heart of Seoraksan, its light a beacon for those who dared to seek, those who dared to dream. And Ji-hoon, with the memories of 1,000 lives in his heart, continued his journey, stepping into the future with the wisdom of the past guiding his way. In the mystical heart of Seoraksan, Ji-hoon, standing before the ancient gate, was enveloped in a cascade of visions. The gate, now a conduit for the echoes of the past, revealed to him a tapestry of history and myth, each thread a story, each story a piece of the eternal puzzle. The visions came in quick, vibrant flashes. He saw ancient battles unfurling under stormy skies, warriors clad in armor clashing in epic confrontations. Their swords clashed with sparks, echoing through time. The sounds of battle cries and the clanging of steel resonated in his ears, as if he were standing in the midst of the fray. Then, the scenes shifted, revealing mythical creatures of breathtaking beauty and terror. Dragons soared through the skies, their scales shimmering like jewels. Phoenixes rose from ashes, their fiery wings painting the sky in hues of gold and crimson. Nymphs danced in moonlit groves, their laughter a melody that transcended time. Amidst these visions, a mysterious figure emerged, shrouded in a cloak of shadows. This figure moved with purpose and grace, a silent guardian of secrets untold. Ji-hoon felt a connection to this enigmatic presence, a sense that this figure was central to the unfolding story. The chosen one shall come forth, a voice echoed in the vision, ancient and resonant, speaking directly to Ji-hoon's soul. The words were more than a prophecy, they were a call, a destiny woven into the fabric of his being. Ji-hoon watched, mesmerized, as the visions showed the figure traversing lands both beautiful and perilous. It moved through forests where trees whispered secrets, crossed deserts where sands told of ages past, and climbed mountains that touched the heavens. The figure, though shrouded in mystery, exuded a sense of purpose and power. It was as if this being was a key, a bridge between worlds, a catalyst for change and understanding. Ji-hoon felt an inexplicable bond with this figure, as if their destinies were intertwined. The visions grew more intense, revealing a world where the line between myth and reality blurred. He saw cities of splendor, their spires reaching for the stars, and realms hidden beneath the waves, where creatures of legend dwelled in harmony. In one vision, the mysterious figure stood at a crossroads, the paths before it stretching into different realms. Each path was a choice, a potential destiny. The figure paused, its head bowed in contemplation, as if understanding the weight of the decision it must make. Ji-hoon felt the figure's resolve, its determination to embrace its destiny, whatever it may be. The voice in the vision spoke again, its tone filled with wisdom and foresight. In the balance of time and fate, the chosen one will open the way, bridging worlds, unlocking truths. The scenes shifted once more, showing the figure in moments of triumph and despair, of love and loss. It battled demons, both literal and figurative, faced trials that tested its spirit, and experienced moments of profound joy and heartbreaking sorrow. These were not just the chronicles of a mythical figure, they were lessons, parables of strength, courage, and the enduring power of hope. Ji-hoon understood that the figure's journey was a reflection of his own, a mirror of the path he had chosen to walk. As the visions began to fade, the figure turned towards Ji-hoon, its eyes meeting his across the expanse of time. In that moment, Ji-hoon felt a surge of energy, a recognition that transcended the ages. He was the chosen one, the one foretold to bridge worlds, to unravel the mysteries that lay at the heart of Seoraksan. The gate's light dimmed, and the visions dissolved into the forest air, leaving Ji-hoon standing in the serene quiet of the ancient woods. He was no longer just a seeker of legends, he was a part of the legend, a player in the grand narrative of history and myth. With the wisdom of the visions etched in his heart, Ji-hoon knew his journey had reached a pivotal point. He was to follow in the footsteps of the mysterious figure, to embrace his destiny as the chosen one. As he turned away from the gate, a sense of purpose filled him. He knew that the path ahead would be fraught with challenges, but he also knew that he was ready to face them. He was ready to uncover the secrets hidden within Seoraksan, to meet his destiny head-on. Ji-hoon stepped forward, his steps resolute, his heart alight with the fire of adventure. The forest whispered around him, the trees bowing in reverence to the chosen one. The stars above shone brightly, guiding him on his path. With each step, Ji-hoon felt the power of the visions guiding him, the echoes of the past a compass to his future. He in the secluded heart of Seoraksan, beneath the ancient boughs and whispered secrets, Ji-hoon stood, his hands still reverberating from the touch of the mystical gate. The air around him was electric, alive with the echoes of a time long past. Suddenly, the world around him faded, and he,